Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, in this video we will have our discussion on a kind of combination which is currently being there in the transit, which not many people are paying attention. So guys, you know this thing that ever since like Saturn has entered into the Sadbisha Nakshatra in a retrograde motion. So now Saturn is transiting in the Nakshatra of the Rahu, Sadbisha Nakshatra. Rahu in itself is transiting in the nakshatra of the planet Saturn, which is the Uttarabhadrapada Nakshatra. So in a way, you can definitely see that there is this exchange of the nakshatra which is getting formed. Now, what does this indicate? Now, guys, first of all, you have to pay attention that Rahu somehow, when it comes down to giving results, Rahu gives results somehow very much akin or equivalent to the planet Saturn only. And the good part is that Rahu is also not very far from entering back into the Aquarius sign. And whenever we are talking about that, if two planets are in a exchange of nakshatra, then how do you look at it? We all know about the exchange of the houses, which so called as the Parivartan Yoga. We all have discussed, we all have heard about that. But guys, when we talk about the exchange of the nakshatra, over there, somehow the intent of the planets somehow work a lot in harmony with each other. And this combination which is getting formed in the transit, there are like 4 signs which, if they are utilizing this transit in an effective way, their running dashas are also somehow is very favorable, is very supportive, and along with that you are doing something which is in line with the innate quality of the Saturn, which is in the innate quality of the Rahu, which somehow blends the qualities of the Aquarius and Pisces, then definitely guys, good results can be attained. And guys, the good part is that whatsoever is going to be the ultimate outcome, the big bumper result will come once Rahu will enter in the Aquarius sign. But even right now, it's a very good time for sowing seeds in that direction. So now guys, I'll be talking about specifically 4 zodiac signs who are right now have this competitive edge, that if they are going to be playing their cards right, they can actually make the most out of this exchange of the nakshatra between planet Saturn and Rahu. So which all are those 4 signs? So definitely guys, to start with, as per my calculation, right now in the transit, Taurus is one such sign which has got this upper edge or competitive edge to gain maximum out of this exchange of the nakshatra taking place between Saturn and Rahu. Now, what makes me say this thing? See guys, we all know this thing that right now in the transit, Rahu, which is transiting in the 11th house for the Taurus natives, and Saturn, which is a Yoga Karaka planet for the Taurus natives, Saturn is right now transiting in their 10th house. And whenever this kind of nakshatra exchange happens in the 10th house and the 11th house, somehow it has got this capacity that whatsoever seeds you are sowing, the immediate result of that is also not going to be very far. And definitely guys, if you are doing something which somehow collects the whole humanity, you're doing something in the realm of the technology with an intent to improve the lives of the common man, then definitely this could be a very golden time for you. And the best of the result will come once Rahu will enter in the Aquarius. So my very first pick amongst all the 12 signs is going to be of the Taurus. Now, the second sign which is in a competitive, which has got this competitive edge right now in the transit because of this exchange of the nakshatra, is the Gemini. Now, what makes me say this? So guys, we all know this thing that right now in the transit, Rahu is transiting in the 10th house for the Gemini natives, and Saturn right now is transiting in your 9th house. Now, we all know this thing that whenever there is this kind of exchange of the nakshatra takes place, so somehow Rahu is asking Saturn to give it the right set of omens, right set of guidance, right set of motivation, which it needs to make a difference at the house of your profession and career. And same way, when we talk about what Saturn is doing, being in the Sadbisha in the 9th house, so definitely guys, we all know this thing that 9th house has got a lot to do with the right set of guide, right set of motivation. Along with that, if you're doing something in the realm of inspiring the world, uplifting the world, and guiding and educating people with the usage of technology, if you are working in this domain, and specifically guys, these days, if you are an educator of any form, if you run any tutorial channel of any form, so if you're working with that intent to actually bring a improvement in the lives of the people. And for that small setup with which you are operating, you are in a dire need of any investment, any funding, any support, or you want to scale up, you want to expand your business to different multiple countries and all. So I would say this thing that somehow Gemini natives also have got this leverage or competitive edge which this exchange of the nakshatra is forming for them. Again guys, the best result will come when finally Rahu will enter the Aquarius sign, which is going to be taking place in the month of May. But the good thing is that in the transit, Gemini Lagna natives have got this leverage. All what matters is that guys, when we talk about the nakshatra level, we always say this thing that when you take down any analysis to the level of the nakshatra, you are now working on the domain of the reverberating higher universal energies. Your intent over there plays a very important role. Now guys, after that, definitely if we have to have another take, Aquarius natives right now have got this very higher upper edge. Now what makes me say this thing? We all know this thing that Aquarius is a sign which is being ruled by the planet Saturn. We all know right now that in the transit, Saturn is right over there in its own territory. And Saturn is right now in a retrograde motion in the Sadbhisha. There are like certain tasks which it has to fulfill now, because after when the retrograde motion is going to be over on November 15th, then Saturn is going to be in a rush to leave this sign. And now where Rahu is transiting? Rahu is transiting in the second house for the Aquarians. So guys, if during this time you are doing anything where you are making use of your own assets, like you want to make the world a better place, or if you have any of those goals, higher goals of, like when we talk about educating, inspiring, uplifting someone and doing anything on a collective level. And I would say that over here guys, when we talk about the anything which is filled or flavored with the energy of the Aquarius, unless and until if technology is not involved there, humanitarian intent is not involved there, connecting the whole world through technology or through other means is not involved, it might not help you. But if you're working in that domain, then trust me guys, for this specific short span of time, till the time this exchange is taking place, Aquarians definitely have a leverage, they definitely have a competitive edge. And if you were to ask me that, okay, when exactly the results will come? Okay, Nipun, you are saying this thing, I'm actually trying hard to get into the United Nations job. I am actually working with, those organizations which goes to the war affected areas, and I'm providing the voluntary work. I'm working towards building internet, making technology reach to these kind of, rural areas to uplift or change their life, improve their life. So it all comes down to a blend of technology, a blend of good intent. And if that is working out right now where you're operating, trust me, when Saturn will leave Aquarius and Rahu will enter the Aquarius, it's not that far. This exchange which is right now taking place, it can actually make you a millionaire, and I will not be surprised if it is going to happen. So yes, in the transit, with the intent and humanitarian intention, if you're actually working, so Aquarians right now, so after Taurus, after Gemini, Aquarians also have got this upper edge. Now guys, after this, like if I were to say, to an extent, we can say this thing that Capricorn natives also have got this golden opportunity right now to work up if they are putting their efforts in this direction. If they are trying to initiate or build something where they are putting their hard-earned money, they are putting their major efforts are directed towards something to do with technology, something to do with the innovative measures, bringing the world together. And if they are working with this intent, so even the Capricorn natives have got this golden opportunity. We all know this thing that Saturn in your case becomes your sign lord. Saturn is there in the second house. And I always say this thing that before Saturn will leave Aquarius, it will kind of stabilize you or position you in a very strong way that for the next 27 years, 30 years, you will be reaping the result for whatever Saturn has established for you right now. This is one such kind of opportunity where people acquire their family business, they lay foundation to their dream business, big projects and all. So Saturn right now is ensuring that before it will leave, your second house, it will lay foundation and hand over the keys to you of some stabilized business or source of income. Now the beauty over here is that now we all know this thing, that from the Capricorn signs point of view, Rahu is right now transiting in the third house. Rahu's transit in the third house is generally considered as very good in any of the Upachya Bhav. The speciality with the third house is that third house also is connected with the mental discrimination, your capacity to be proactively on a lookout for grasping any opportunity, your capacity to take those major decisions and take the risk and take those initiatives. All the entrepreneurs, 90% of the entrepreneurs in their charts, you will find somehow third house to be very empowered. Even in their Ashtak Varga points and all, you will definitely see third house to be somehow gaining strength. And now you are in that golden phase when in your case, this exchange is taking place of the nakshatra on a nakshatra level in your second house and the third house. So what as a common line can be said for this exchange is that if in any capacity you're trying to build something which is going to be improving the lives of the world at large, like of major portion of the people through the use of technology, while making their life, improving their life, and if you are in that dire need of some sort of approval, confirmation, funding, support, recognition, platform, foundation, then trust me, if you are already sowing seeds, you are struggling in that direction, when Rahu will enter the Aquarius, then you will hit your jackpot. I can assure you for that. So yes guys, my take right now for this exchange of the nakshatra between Rahu and Saturn, which I have been in talks and I have been discussing that with many other senior astrologers as well. Hey, how do you see this? How it's going to be benefiting people? Even right now when I'm talking, I'm seeing that screen as per the Shakun inspiration. So something related to that. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So Taurus, Gemini, Capricorn and Aquarius right now have got this very strong competitive edge to do not be worried about on a ground level paying your bills and all the material things. Think about something higher, bigger, greater than yourself, and once Rahu will come in Aquarius, it will reward you. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. धन्यवाद.